We'll get a lot of time to talk about our teams later on. For now, though, we are ready to go. We're going into game number 33 here as we descend onto Miramar. Once again, Pansy and D-Man take it away for all of the action.
Thank you very much, and here we go once again on the fields of Miramar. It's in the dusty plains. We'll see whether anyone makes any adjustments. It's a pretty far eastern plane, Lauren. This looks like it's going to cause some problems for the likes of Winstrike, who we just heard from Crimson there. Maybe having to make an adjustment because their drop in El Pozo is kind of out of stretch, and there we go. They're up in Campo Militar.
Yeah, we've seen them do the Militar push before as well. It's nothing completely new. We've seen it when they have this sort of plane path given to them. My eyes turn to the likes of M19. They do like the Alcantara, but they also go down to the southern side. So again, a lot of these teams do have those backup drops just in case we see plane paths that really just do not play to their style. FaZe still looking like they want to commit quite far over. I guess they're Monte Nuevo. It's not as far out of reach. But any team that goes towards, at least at this point, the far western side are going to have a little bit of a problem. Outside of that, Na'Vi down in the south, not going for their, northern drop, of course, not surprising there. And everyone else is pretty happy. I'm seeing a fairly standard start here. I don't see too much difference, if I'm honest. I think this is pretty much as we'd expect. And putting a couple players quite far south, again, not anything surprisingly new. That, however, is a bit of a circle and a half. We've gone very far north here. Yeah, if you're TSM, you're happy.
With the plane path the way it is as well, obviously that's going to cause a lot of problems because we're clearly cluttered on the eastern side of the map, and with the circle going northwest, or, well, I would love to see this go up to Oasis, which is obviously encompassed in the top there.
Now, for me as well, the one thing I will say, as much as this is a little bit awkward because of that initial drop, everyone heading to the east, and no one really going to the west, it will at least have a lot of options for rotations. You don't have that kind of cutoff. We've seen a lot of those western circles yesterday that had that rolling hillside, which means you can't go through there. There's no access. Same when it's in the water. This will at least give a vast amount of access to that circle. So if you do get caught in rotation, it's probably because out of greed or want to get central than playing it safe. But a lot of these teams already have that kind of considered rotation route, and I'm sure they'll keep that in mind.
CrowCrowd in Los Leones. It's a long rotate for them, obviously, to head out. As you mentioned, FaZe Clan off to Monte Nuevo. Still, what, 2:36, 7, 8, and they're still just arriving at Monte Nuevo to start getting their first loot. So
it's quite nice for them with that circle, at least. They can just
Well, it is, and it isn't, because they're probably going to have a few teams rotating past them earlier on. Obviously, Team Liquid, we know they tend to go out early. They have managed to drop into Picado pretty easily as well. We're seeing the Knights actually moving. Now, this isn't a case of rotating. I think they're switching to just different location away from Power Grid. There's two of them staying in Power Grid, but two go north.
I don't mind this. One, it does give you a 2-2 split in the essence of the fact that you'll have two players split apart, and that's fine. And they'll know that, considering the plane path, it's very unlikely that Na'Vi would be up in the north. So this is just good knowledge. This is them showing this off. It looks like an early bit of a stretch from Uber. Not going too far. Maybe just hitting those compounds on the way, picking up loot as he goes, but also wanting to work towards maybe a spot where they want to get towards. Again, these teams know where people like to drop, seeing that plane path. They'll know that Pozo's potentially free because teams don't like going that far in this situation, especially if it's Winstrike. They'll often head to Militar, so they can work that out.
And this is the first time I think Fast Rail and Razor Edge have had a chance to rotate early.
Yes, you're right.
They're normally coming in out the blue, but they can center up with this circle. Obviously, they dropped in Cruz del Valle, one of the first out the plane, along with Winstrike, who we can see already on the move as well. So they're going to be looking to try and get a decent spot. TSM and NIP look to be gauging for similar spots. NIP only with 2 members up the north there. TSM kind of have more resources to put behind it. There is a crate drop actually in San Martin, so NIP may benefit from that one. But Unity are passing by San Martin. They've got to be careful. NIP have not completely left here yet.
No, they haven't, and I think this is just teams, when they do change these times, when they leave their areas, if they go early or later or start putting scouts out at a different timing, they need to be very aware that they're not fully aware of the surroundings. They don't know the exact rotation times of the other teams nearby. So that could be a little bit of a differencing, a bit of a different factor for them. Razor Edge certainly didn't go too far. They didn't go straight for that TSM Unity area. They played a little bit safer just to the west of water treatment, which is a popular spot. Again, this is quite nice for them. And it is an easier rotation for the others, Menox and Sigsy. They might get a little bit of a glimpse of Winstrike, but other than that, they're doing okay. And we've got the bike gang.
The Biker Boys on the way from Team Liquid. They are heading over to the western side. No two surprising FaZe Clan sort of just north of Monte Nuevo there. There's CSM and Unity. We expected them to be getting close to one another, the way they're rotating, all trying to find this central spot, trying to get the best locations. Of course, most of these teams will have dropped early. So they got the loot and moved in. Vitality also passing on by Hacienda, so coming in behind this cluster as well. G2 just had a little peek at them. I think Chris and is it Brexco that's with him just on that edge compound. It's on the edge compound just to the east of Hacienda. Now, obviously, G2 ordinarily play very much on the edge. This time, they can go a little bit more central. Starting out with a win yesterday and finished with a win, so solid day for them yesterday. Really boosting their points. Fast rail. See that? See, this is what I was talking about there. So if you notice them, and it was prime because we saw it in first person, Fast Rail had no view of anything at all. Yet, Chris said there's a car coming by, so Fast Rail just literally shot at a wall. Just to basically give the audio signal to that team, there is multiple people here. Unity, however, don't give a damn, and they just pulled up anyway.
Unity are a scary team because they commit to these sort of things. A lot of teams wouldn't be risking doing this early. Now, Razor Edge do need to appear bigger than they are because at the moment, the other two players aren't that close by. Nice nade, actually. Yeah. Really nice. Going to push Orange out of that position and maybe make him have to work back for it. That's Na'Vi in the background just popping off shots at Doozy.
That's way down in Los Leones.
Yeah, that's a long way off. Actually, Tizerin's position, I want to keep that in mind. Tizerin here has a bit of a dirty off angle that could really catch Fast Rail off if he's not hyper aware of this. Yeah,
coming in behind them, but look at Sigsy coming in on the hillside. So if one of these shows themselves, Sigsy will have the angle. There it is in the picture. There's a little cheeky peeky from Chris there, catching him out. Sigsy's looking to try and catch him out. Chris peeks around. The nade catches him though, so it's a back and forth between the two. Who can come in and flush quicker?
Oh, that's devastating for Chris as well. Look at Blaston instantly running in there. He knows there's someone to be had, but there was a tag. Maybe that's going to slow him down. Tizerin could catch Fast Rail. This gets scary. Fast Rail's going to try and just drop a nade out, maybe try and catch him. I'm not sure if that's going to get Chris, maybe. You've got to be careful on that one. But here comes Sigsy. They're just piling in. Fast Rail's desperate to try and get Chris back up, but is he overextending? Yes! They're desperately trying, but third-party Winstrike's turned up.
And yeah, so that's multiple players down at the moment. Sigsy comes in, he's going to flush out. Blaston had managed to get the bleed on Chris there. I think maybe with the help of his teammate's nade, not too sure. Fast Rail down is going to get flushed out by Tizerin as well. So Razor Edge down 2, Unity down just the 1, but they have got one knocked on his feet. He's got revived already. So Nuki's coming in to have a little look at this again.
Why not? They're in such a safe position. I doubt NOP could swing to it, but because they're split, I don't think they will. So
I feel this is also a part of, especially with Razor Edge. Obviously, they ordinarily way out on the edge. They are the circle team, the edge
very
circle.
Late, yep.
They'll come in. They committed to go for this 2-2, but you know, if they're planning on going more central, they need to be there with numbers.
I agree. We're seeing more and more teams, though, starting to do that. They're willing to take those compounds to crash and to fight it out, even early game, which I get. And they've literally switched position now. Razor Edge are literally in the building that Unity just had. But back to the point, they're maybe not used to that meta this early on. As you said, they don't often come centralizing. They have been speeding up their rotations. We've noticed that. Menox is in a bit of danger here.
A lot of nades coming this way. He's just going to first aid up. I don't know whether they have too much more left because these teams that are here already, they rotated fairly early. So utility-wise, they've kind of burned through a lot of what they had. You can see no HE nades there. That one's just going to catch the side, not going to do anything. So 16 and Menox just going to ride out the grenades and hope that maybe Nuki lands another long-range shot, because you can see Dastish, he just got tapped by Julski.
They're hoping for third parties. That's all you got to do. It's so hard to do anything other than that. The issue becomes when they have to leave that area. A lot of teams banking on the northwestern side, and it's a really good read. It's a very good read from the vast majority of these teams. Team Liquid hedging their bets as per usual, 2-2 splitting up. Actually, no, 3-1. Samty was out on his own, so that's probably why they don't give Jeems the bike. Did you see that clip that Ibby just baited him out on Twitter about? That was wonderful. Jeems not allowed on the bikes by himself, has to have his training wheels on still, but we will be looking at the teams on the eastern side, working their rotations in now. Yeah, it's going to be a little wild. Vitality coming right behind Razor Edge and Unity here that we're watching. They're going to be passing by on the road. You can see Nasus just pipping in on the screen there. You can see, there you go. Menox has just a little look to see what they're doing. Vitality going to be hearing those shots and thinking, yeah, don't want to be involved in that one. The Knights trying to get central up, but they've gone straight into NIP. NIP themselves have got one down as well. Yeah, NIP just got knocked from this, and I don't think they're going to be too happy about that. They at least have to play the right position for those revives. Couple of shots again. This is going to be a constant fight between these guys. It's going to be risky as heck.
Look what's going on in the north. La Cabrera's got FaZe Clan that's moved into it. Reciprocity up on the hillside. Winstrike, who were third party in this fight, they've backed away towards the compounds on the edge. Now Reciprocity coming in, but G2 on their rotate looks like they may make their way in behind them. Down south, Na'Vi have got the freedom of the city, it seems. They're just going to cruise on in past Power Grid and have nobody anywhere near them.
We're starting to see a bit of a common thread in these teams that like playing the edge game. G2, Na'Vi, consistently well within the top here. So keeping those 4 players alive. Uh-oh, that's not good for FaZe.
I mean, they're okay. Nobody's going to finish it off, I don't think. I can see Drayden's looking at it, but you never know.
I worry about Drayden. It's kind of hard to know the terrain. I don't know if there's cover. They should be able to get the revive, but also you bleed out quicker. These are things you don't want to happen, and Winstrike are moving in, and I do see shots from Drayden. So slowing down progress, it feels like. That was a big of a problem, and look at Winstrike there, about to fold on top of them. Yeah,
they're coming straight in behind FaZe Clan. They're just getting the revive off. Sigsy, the Unity try and go for the push, and Sigsy rips the head off Blaston. Gets a peek around the side, and this has gone horribly wrong for Razor Edge. They've managed to keep Unity completely at bay, and that's it. They're done. Razor Edge take them down in a 2v3.
What was the plan, Unity? Run across the open, not able to trade, no one holding the angle. Hello? That is baffling to me. That was some very questionable play. No utility used, nothing. They just went for it. And they're both in safety. I don't understand the logic there. Hopefully we can maybe find out what on earth went on with that. Reciprocity up in the north, still trying to find their way around. TSM holding the 2-2. This is them trying to work their way in. Winstrike holding the line. Winstrike in a 2-2 themselves. They've got FaZe in the south and Reciprocity in the north.
Yeah, Winstrike with that 2-2. It's a wide one. NIP we saw obviously a moment ago. They've got 2 players in with TSM, sort of sharing compounds. Na'Vi have made their way into the south side. They've got themselves a hill position, taking a little look towards Digital Athletics. Here's G2. They're coming up on the hillside near Vitality. There's a doozy in DA. Just traded a couple of blows. Looks like DA are going to evacuate from their position, realizing it's no longer safe now that Na'Vi have moved onto the hillside. Circle's about to shrink down. Everybody's inside it. The question is, can everyone stay alive as FaZe Clan make the move? NASA's down. Jazza got Mexi down as well. Mexi's going to bleed out. He's done. So that's going to be FaZe losing 1.
Yeah, that's a bit of a shocker for FaZe. This hasn't been fun so far. They went far north and it's gone very poorly, if anything. I thought it'd be Winstrike to catch him, if I'm honest. I did not expect Vitality to be the ones to get him, but that 1-1 trade...
I think 80 might get caught here as well. 80's taking a lot of shots. You can see he's down low. Circle shrinks and it goes Team Liquid's way as well. Na'Vi, by the way, their late move has put them on the nice south edge spot and nobody's anywhere near them. They have a really nice high angle. That is a great spot. Team Liquid submerging. They're going to go down in towards Samti's compound, so they're going to back away from this one. TSM and NIP on your screens here. They are pretty well centralized with the crossroads, so no movement going to be coming out from them. Here's Team Liquid. They've got themselves a really nice center compound now.
Yeah, lovely. Always the risk, though, of when you're in the low ground to be peeked on. Very hard to shoot up. They get the angle generally on your head. You get to see their feet. The only mechanical problem that comes with these areas. Otherwise, you're really, really laughing. But back to the action. We got to look north. Raise Your Edge's problems have yet to really resolve. They've lost another Sigsy. Just got spotted out, and Winstrike's in danger, and that's his NBS, but somehow he just sticks the landing, but that might not evade the bullets. No, it doesn't.
G2 are trying to go centralized. I thought they were happy where they were, but they've just tried to blast the way in there. That's a risky one. There's Reciprocity on the screens. They've just took some shots on Winstrike. FaZe Clan have managed to move in because I think it was NIP that were in this compound that were backed away from it. They had a 2-2, so FaZe have managed to move in there. G2 now out of the vehicles. They have Vitality nearby. They've already got 1 knock on Kramer. Brexco taking a big old hit, but the nades are flying.
Now, I get scared here because we know G2 are good at these situations when they start getting into it, especially with players like Udir. Just up close and personal, the trade comes in. Vitality not going to let this slip, but they've already had so many casualties. They're down to just Nasus. And look at those nades. Chris has one. Everyone's getting them out now. If they just pinged into that building perfectly, you would see Vitality wiped out. But with G2 losing out a player, I don't know if they're willing to really commit to this. Yeah,
it was Wanted that got 1 down for Vitality as well. Znark back on his feet, so the Knights still with the 2 in there. I believe they have 2 on the hillside as well. Yeah, Drayden and Reels up on the hillside near FaZe Clan, so they've gone for the wide spread. We've seen yet another knock, and that's Shiv taking Scoom down in the vehicles. Lots of rotations. Winstrike, by the way, their rotation. So they've now gone all the way around the map. They've actually gone south of Craterfield. They're back at El Pozo. They've gone back home. They're coming back in, and they're going to come in around the edge side of Na'Vi. M19 trying to do a similar job. They decided to come up from Craterfields and up straight up the hillside.
Yeah, CrowCrowd losing out on one there. He was very much on his own. Reciprocity in the north, still looking for their way in, and they've not been able to thread the needle just yet. FaZe still controlling the northern side of things, but there's still room for Reciprocity to move. They just need to make their minds up. They need to be decisive, and is this fight worth it, Rafi?
That's outside the circle, so the Blues are going to be pushing on them. There you go. You can see the circle shrink on them. So Rafi just trying to pull up and get a scout and get some information and see where people are. They're going to follow over to Haxetti, who's up on the other hillside. But we just saw G2 and Vitality clashing that side of the hill, so it's still not really a great deal of advantage. Fuzzface has just got himself the crate there. I can't see what else is on his back. He's got. He didn't bother to pick up the gun because it's probably just an M249 and decided to leave it. Ooh, circle shrink is pretty harsh, actually. That's a northeast swing.
Okay, finally we're going to see a challenge for Na'Vi, because they've not always had the circle, but they've played well to circle. They've been on the edge. So this is the first time we'll see them really fight. Team Liquid could gatekeep, DA could gatekeep. They all hold the southern side, and that hillside is actually pretty rough to work from. This G2 Vitality battle continues, but it's not just G2 and Vitality. Reciprocity are just turning up on the hillside.
Yeah, Rec coming down from up on high. G2 turn their attention to them. FaZe Clan, I really don't know where they're going to go from this one. They're going to have to push onto, I think, the Knights warehouse, but the problem is the Knights have got 2 players coming down from the hillside. Now, if FaZe can beat them to it, then they may have a chance at it, but I think they're going to be a little too late to the party here. Team Liquid, you talked about that compound. That's very scattered. It's almost trailer parks, if anything, sort of down there. So it's not great terrain to defend from. Na'Vi are going for it. We're sending it. Aduz is going to be the one that makes it. They're going to be joining DA on the hills.
This really isn't good. There is room on that hill. I will tell you that there is room on that hill, but it's scary when you've got CrowCrowd already moving up. That means it's an instant battle, and it makes it harder when Team Liquid are doing the same thing. They know that hillside is the gateway towards the south, so they have to get presence there. That's why Iroh's up there. It perfectly locks out that CrowCrowd compound. So this is the battle we're talking about in the bottom right here. Na'Vi get a bit of contact there. That's down up the hill, actually. Tell a lie, and here's a bit of another battle. Reciprocity sending it in towards Vitality.
FaZe tried to go for it as well. They have to get around the side. Here's Reciprocity. It's going to be an easy one for NASA, straight around the back, and Reciprocity just getting absolutely destroyed. We could see it. There originally wasn't a home for them to go to. They were just a little too late. The circle, obviously, with the hard shift, pulls away. Now M19 have pulled up on towards Team Liquid.
Look
you
at
can see them going
side.
down. CrowCrowd and Na'Vi clashing on the hillside. It is very messy.
Yeah, and I feel as though the winners at the end of the day are going to be Team Liquid. They're the last ones to the party. They're the ones who get to clean up if they fancy it, if they push over that ridgeline. M19 could do the same. Na'Vi looking a little worse for wear, and Samty smells. He tastes blood in the water. He's on it. DA's moving in, and so a Winstrike.
Oh
this
my
is going
God.
to be an absolute bloodbath.
It is a true battle royale happening on the hillside. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 teams. Winstrike are getting involved as well. They're coming around the side. It is a cluster of around about 30 players all on one hillside. There's only 40 alive. It's going to be insane. Team Liquid have got to realize the danger here. They're going to try and toss out the nades to see if they can gain what they can. You can see Na'Vi in the ditch. M19 got their own little ditch here. Ibby's on the flank here, but Iroh might spot him first. We're going to see who can come over the crest of the hill and see him first.
Yeah, Ibby is the safety man. He needs to keep Team Liquid safe from the north. That's where Iroh could strike. Ibby's finding the Wanderer. Iroh strikes back. So DA and Team Liquid all combining into this battle as Na'Vi get wiped away from this, right in the center of it. But M19 could be next on the chopping block.
So we lost CrowCrowd and Na'Vi already. Winstrike get involved. They come around the side, and suddenly everyone's coming over the hill and saying, how many players are on this hill? Jeems finds another, gets a little shot onto Tixu, backs away, goes for the nade. Yeah, 6 nades stacked up. This is the highest kill average score in the game, and this is why he's tossing them nades out. He's got to go at Tixu. He's gone down low, backing away from this one. Iroh still flanking. Don't rule out DA, because they're actually coming in behind Winstrike.
Yeah, but look how proactive Team Liquid are being here. You've already got Ibby and Samty continually just stretching slightly further north and north and north, because it will keep that side safe. They know there's no one shooting them in the backs. They know they're safe from there. They can funnel people forward as long as Iroh doesn't just completely destroy this. M19 still in those killing fields. Look at these nades. Oh, that could be Dimash gone. That's right on the car. That looks deadly, and it is. Ibby's there to claim it. The circle moves further north, but this fight continues in the south.
Jeeps just took a batter, and he had to get down low. Tixo finished off by Digital Athletics there as Iroh gets involved. Jorski tries to get a peek around, but they're getting shot from multiple angles. This is just chaos. The circle, meanwhile, has shrunk, and it's gone to the north. So this battle is very much to survive and get the hell out of there.
Yeah, the CIS teams are suffering in this battle in the south. CrowCrowd, Na'Vi, M19, Team Liquid are backing. They're peeling. Maybe it's time to think about that next circle. That's more important right now. They've already racked up so many kills.
But where do you go? This next circle is brutal. I think ENCE are going to come out victors here, judging by their spot. TSM also in this little nook and cranny. FaZe have got to kind of squeeze down to an OP. Yeah, who's who's going to send it?
I reckon DA's going there.
Compound. You reckon DA
DA
going to send it? They love it, yeah.
DA do these crazy, just like late game rush center circle, and somehow that compound's free. I don't know if they're in the state to do it because they're down to 3 players.
I think
don't know
TL
what
are going to
cars.
do it. I think TL are going to do it.
We might have a race.
And that's actually, oh god, they're to a vehicle. Okay, here we go. Now, where did they go? They're going to crash one. I think it's going to be TSM. Okay, Beautiful Death is coming. I think he's going to stop. So Team Liquid are on the move. Here we go. I want to see the rotations. Reciprocity coming down the hill, but it's Team Liquid. They're going for either TSM or ENCE. Not too sure which one it's going to be. It's down the southern side. We're not watching it, but we can see it on the minimap. They're going to come in. It's going to be destruction. TSM should pick them apart, and they will.
Yeah, that's Reciprocity eliminated in the meantime because Rafi went down, but it's just down to Samty. This is not good. They had to pick somewhere. They could not just depend on the game playing out from there, trying to be decisive, but TSM held the entirety of that crossroads. They are the keepers of it so far. Nice tag from Samty. Big headshot. That's going to allow him way forward. He knows it too. Oh my word, Samty's a scary man to be playing against. He's taking on everyone from TSM.
He's just trying to do what he can. 5 bullets left. He's run up around the side there. Can he get the reload? He sees them, but Iro, DA coming behind. And suddenly DA turn on TSM, and they may be able to clean them out here. Gustav's got to go big. Michael goes huge. They've lost 2, but TSM stand tall. A Beautiful Death did make it into the compound next door. FaZe Clan are trying to use this opportunity to move in. The nade comes out from Digital Athletics, and TSM go down.
That's how you crash the compound. What a perfect bit of timing from DA. It is just one of them left, but turn up just after that fight and sweep the lot of them. I think I agree with you here. ENCE have a great deal of positioning in this one, but so does G2. There's a lot on the outskirts here, a lot of individuals left alive from that southern scuffle. I say a lot, it was just Jorski at that point because DA did send it. But now FaZe Clan eventually emerge as the last team to work out of there. We still have a lot of teams standing. So
ENCE have got a massive slice of the eastern side. Almost the entirety, 50% of this map is ENCE. They can cover whatever they want. G2, 4 alive. Knights, 4 alive. NIP, believe they're down to 2. The circle goes on to ENCE. They are the kings of the castle right now with a decent hillside. The question is, what can they pick up from this?
Okay, ENCE. If there's any time, it is now. Do not whiff this. Don't.
They have to get to this compound and they realize it. Look at that. Trifoli making a run for it, realizing it's empty. This is such a prime compound that's been left empty the entire time. I think that's the same one that Shoot to Kill picked up a massive kill score from at Face It. I'm pretty sure.
Might be. It does seem familiar, but again, it's Miramar. It's just sand. G2 still with 3. Vitality down to 2. The Knights still have a good amount of players here. They're aware now that ENCE have moved into that compound. You saw those shots, I think, from Kane towards it. Now, the issue becomes, how do we get over here? Because you've got Vitality locking in G2. They can take the vehicles and run it, but it's risky. It looks like Wanted, Snark, Drayden are all getting those cars, and they're about to just try and fly in there.
Yeah, just nading Vitality into oblivion, forcing them to back off. Vitality themselves using a smoke wall to try and approach ENCE's compound. It's so hard to get out of here. You can see the third party coming in from ENCE on the left-hand side. That's going to be Mikaz laying down the cover fire, and G2 trying to push into that. Vitality trying to use what they can. They catch the Knights. The Knights pull up, and it's gone horribly wrong for them. Shadow with the spray down. I think he's run out of bullets. He's going to have to get the reload down. Doesn't matter. The Knights have just been ripped. A new one there. Snark, I believe, the last round standing for them. Tripoli caught out. Why are you going so deep on the edge? G2, Brexico's got behind them.
Oh my word, ENCE. I cannot fathom that move from Trifoli. I don't get it. Now Snark's moved up, Braxico's moved up, there's danger aplenty. Mikas and Squeaky's positions were perfect under the assumption they still held 2 in that building. I'm pretty sure the revive's going to come in. Natus tries to make a stab at the stand. Well, gets swept away from him. Good Vernade from Shadow, but it does not catch them enough to take them down.
Shadow got to push around a 2v1. It's a really hard position. He's just took a nade to the face, one to the teeth. There's going to be a smoke across the side. Not going to work out. Chris will take him down. Now G2 got to make the move. They could get 3 in the circle here if ENCE are not careful. They've got the Knights up upon them, and NIP have crept into the edge as well.
Braxico scares the life out of me. You know that. I'm worried what he can do from this position. Because I don't know if Mikaz or Squeaky know his spot at the moment. Now, NIP looking for a way in, but you can see this terrain, this territory, this whole area is very open, especially from anyone who has high ground. And Mikaz should have pick of the litter as he just sprays in towards Chris. He's tapping away towards Kane. And all these shots, they're landing pretty well, but look who's turned up. It's VOD.
Yeah, that's going to be the Knights going down. 5th place for them as they get themselves healed up just before Kane gets on his back. Does Vard realize it's certainly going to hear the footsteps? Has a little peek. It's going to be an easy one for him. Vard will get it, but it's actually Rustanmar getting involved and finding Chris. So Vard will collect himself one there. Only the 3 kills for them so far. ENCE move out now. Rustanmar and Trifley going to back away from this compound. The circle has shifted onto the hillside. ENCE still with 4 alive.
Squeaky can find a beautiful death, but I think a beautiful death is in a bit of a ditch. Mikas holds this side, so they know it's safe. That's good work. Brexco could be a problem. This angle he's working from actually keeps him safe on this rotation. I don't know how much he's spotted, but clearly he's got an idea of something that's happening here. Level 3's being picked up. Nice little touch for ENCE. And there's a lot of snakes in this grass.
Brexco's next to his Murado as well, so they're going to be aware that somebody is there. NIP almost certainly could come around behind him, but I like ENCE. They've decided to group up now. They're starting to sweep through as a unit. I like it. They're seeing 8 alive, so they realize this is not going to be a team. Brexco might find one, but I think the second one will follow straight through. Where's that nade going?
They're looking for NIP. ENCE are looking for NIP, and Brexco, if the timing's right, if NIP engage, if a beautiful death engage, this could be really good for him. I don't think they're aware of this ditch. I don't think they're checking on it.
He saw Trifley's head, so he knows one. He sees the smokes going across. Their focus is on the team in your bottom right-hand corner, NIP. Beautiful Death could also get involved. We've seen snakes so often cause some real problems. ENCE backed away from this one. They have gone almost to a one-on-one here. Mikas could just come over and trip over Brexco.
I'm a bit worried how individual this is.
Trifley has completely put himself in no man's land.
This is untradeable in a couple of these positions. So and they're sweeping on the southern side here, but again, I like aggression in the right places. I like confident play in the right places, but they haven't been meticulous enough to find a beautiful death or the remaining G2 player. They know roughly where NIP is. A good concept. They knew the kills came in from the compound they had. This is why you're seeing those nades, but I'm worried those snakes can actually cost them a couple of kills here, and that would only encourage NIP to go. Yeah,
Squeaky and Rustanmar continuing to move on around.
Lovely angle here.
Trifley's just tossing nades at every single spot, and that's what Squeaky's doing. He's offering that Overwatch position effectively with the Kar98. He will have vision on NIP in a second.
Mikas might trip over Brexco here soon enough. That feels quite inevitable.
Okay, circle goes to ENCE once again, so now NIP have to move. Brexco has to move. A beautiful death can stay where he is, though, in that rock.
Yeah, he's going to be spotted out, though, by NIP eventually, I think. He's proning on that side of it.
He's got an home. That's an home for Rustanmar. He's managed to, that's what they got from the crate then. So they've just spotted NIP, so they're well aware of their position. Mikas is running straight to Brexco. Love to get the first-person perspective of him. He's about to get right on top of Brexco. He's on the hillside. Here comes NIP. They're going to make the move, looking towards the nade.
This is nice from ENCE when they're only operating under the assumption of where NIP is. They don't know exactly where this man is. That's the danger. Everything else is fine. I like what they're doing now on the circle. You've got Squeaky and Rustanmar on Overwatch. You've got these two being your kind of forward point men and keeping NIP humble. That's a shot coming from Rustanmar. He knows where NIP are, but there's still that G2 threat. So NIP, I don't know if they have any smokes left. They're going to be out in the open now.
They believe there's somebody on the left. There's the Ormin work. Gets himself a shot. Wow, Rustanmar just says no. Puts them down. Squeaky got himself the other one. So Brexco now's got to be found. Trifley and Mikas are going hunting. Look at Brexco. They have no idea he can turn the spray transfer. Oh, so close from Brexco. Almost got the double. Now, Beautiful Death, it's all on you.
You've got to go now, Beautiful Death. He knows the knock happened, and he knows that's his best chance to do something, but when you see that there's 5 alive and you're one, you're like, right, okay, here we go. Gonna do my best, gonna do my darndest. And when you're up against a Norm, plenty of level 3s, and ENCE in a good position, it's very unlikely. This looks like the Finns might finally get one on the board.
Yeah, the absolute dominant victors of Phase 1 ENCE. They had a poor showing at the Face It Global Summit, and it seems to have had a knock-on effect here as we moved into Phase 2. But you can see ENCE on your screen, on the map. They are just sweeping around. They spot him on the hillside. A beautiful death. No escape for him. He's just going to run up the hill and try and get away from this one, but he's running into the loving arms of Mikas. He's going to get the one down. Can he confirm the pull? Got to get the points. Got to get the points. That could be a massive flush. Yes, it is. He's going to get himself one. Trifley comes around the side. They're going to make sure they push this multiple angles. Squeaky will come over, finds the head, and that's going to be ENCE. The Finns finally get themselves a win.